Thank you for watching the first lesson under parts of speech, which is nouns. While nouns are the basic building block for grammar, you may already feel that you know most of what you need to. And if that's the case, think of this as a review. If not, take your time, watch it as many times as you need, pause it, write things down in order to absorb it. Okay, so as we said, nouns are your basic building block. They represent a person, place, thing, or idea. Let's get into that a little more. A person can be a specific person, such as Jordan, or a girl, or a mom. These last two are a little bit more general. It could be either one. It can be a specific or a more general. A place, again, can be a specific place, such as New York, or it can be more general, school or town. It can also be something like a park or a stadium. It's a place that you go to. The next one, this category I would say is the biggest category. Thing or things, they're everywhere. If you look around your room, you can see your bed. You can see your chair at your desk. You can see your phone. You can see your light, your door. Things are definitely the most prominent nouns and relatively easy to recognize. With that being said, we're getting to our hardest one, which is an idea. Ideas tend to be difficult because they're not tangible. We can't touch them. So you can't touch bravery, you can't touch evil or love. So we will get into in a minute, how then do you figure out if these words are in fact nouns? So I have a whole section on how do you figure out if a word is a noun? Because in general, most people think of person, place, or thing as a noun, and they tend to be the easier ones. So this one is the more difficult one, and we will get into that shortly. The next thing to know about nouns is that you can have a common noun, and a common noun is going to be very general. For instance, girl. Or you could say town. Both of these are common nouns. We don't know the specific name of the girl. We don't know the specific name of the town, but they're still nouns. They're just considered common nouns. Next, we have proper. So if we wanted to turn girl into a proper noun, we need to make it a specific person or thing. In this case, we could say Grace. Grace is a specific girl, which makes this word a proper noun. All proper nouns have the first letter capitalized. And again, instead of just saying the town is nice, you could say a specific town, such as Fairfield. Fairfield is nice. And again, because it's a proper noun, the first letter is capitalized. Many of you have worked on common and proper nouns since you were really, really little, and that should be a review. However, collective nouns, again, are probably one of the harder ones to absorb. And really, it's the application of how to use them where many, many people mess up. So, back at the beginning, when you watched the overview of how to approach these lessons, I talked about having a notebook in which you could take notes, or having note cards accessible when you watch these. So this would be a good time to pull out your notebook or your note cards and write down collective nouns. So collective nouns are, examples would be a team or a school. What makes them tricky is that they sound plural in our brains, but that is wrong. In fact, they are singular words, meaning it's just one team. The reason why it tends to be difficult is because in our brains, we think of the members of the team. And we might think of, the soccer team has 16 players on the team. However, yes, there are 16 people on the team, but it still comes back to the fact that there's just one team. One team is singular because it's one. Same with school. School seems to be difficult because we think of, if I said to you, North Penn High School won their game last night, that sounds correct to us. But it's one school, so it should be represented by North Penn High School won its game last night. Because yes, the school is comprised of many students. However, it still turns out that it's just one school. So when we discuss verbs and pronouns, we will come back to collective nouns. So write down in your note card that collective nouns, they sound plural, but they're always singular. It's one team and it's one school. We're not to think of the members or the players or the students. Students is plural, but school is singular because it's one. We will revisit this shortly in the next couple lessons. So the big question is, how do I know if a word is a noun? And my fifth grader who was learning reviewing nouns, because again, you'll review nouns throughout, first grade, fifth grade, seventh grade, hopefully again in high school, but often not. So it's good to review. So the way I taught my son is that I said, look, what you need to do is put the word into a simple sentence. That sounds easy enough, right? Well, then the next question, of course, is, well, what is a simple sentence, right? You might be asking yourself, like, how do I know what a sentence is? Okay, well, a simple sentence contains a subject, which is often a noun, and a verb. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these two examples to figure out if the word house is in fact a noun. If you can put house, the house is, or the houses are, or any word in front of is or are, to see, and then you can complete the thought. You can say anything you want. The house is pretty, the house is nice, the house is blue. That part doesn't matter. If you can say the house is or the houses are, or any word, the bird is, the birds are, their love is, their love, well, the love are wouldn't work, that's funny, but their love is. Or you could say the content is difficult. So if you can put it in a simple sentence, then you know this is in fact a noun. Let's look at the word nice. Can you say the nice is? No, that doesn't make sense because this is not a noun. Here we go. Here's the example of the love is strong. Can you say the strong is? No, because strong is not a noun. We know love is a noun because you can say the love is strong, the love is fragile. You can put any word you want after at the end of the sentence as your descriptive word. But what matters is when you're trying to figure out if the word is a noun or not, put it in a simple sentence. All right, I like to do this, what I call the big picture, because I feel like a lot of times kids are saying, like, who cares? I know, I hear it all the time from my students. Who really cares? Well, I care, and you should care. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, all of these parts of speech matter when we're looking at figuring out how to write complete sentences and to be intelligent so that you have a complete sentence and not a fragment. And I know you've heard that word throughout your life. We will build on this, and this will be explained in future lessons. And I hope you continue to watch them because, again, they're all building blocks. And once you understand how they all work together, you can then start varying your sentence structure. And when you can vary your sentence structure, your writing flows, your writing actually becomes beautiful. That's my goal. Can you write intelligently? Can you write beautifully? Finally, once you start varying your sentence structure, then you need to understand how to punctuate things correctly. And to be honest, this is the piece that's tested on standardized tests. You're never going to have to pick out, oh, there's the noun in the sentence. You don't have to do that on standardized tests, but you have to understand how complete sentences and varying sentence structure is punctuated. And the only way to do that is to know all the basics of your grammar and how would they all work together. So this is where your standardized tests come into play, like the SAT and the ACT. And again, if you think of grammar as building blocks, think of these videos as building blocks. Watch them in order, build your way up, and by the time you get to the application of the tests, you'll be all set. So thank you for watching and learning with us. Always remember that you have the power to create the life that you want. Knowledge is the key to that success.